day, I saw. So I am all about people pushing new ideas into society right now, or listening to as many as you can, because the old system was set up and it worked for what we had, and now new systems are going to grow up. And I am definitely not the picker to be like, that system over there, it should change and we should just get rid of it. I do not have enough insight, but I am open to hearing what as many different people are saying. And one of the things that I noticed, so I tuned in on an RCAF thing the other day, and they are still talking politics as though the way to solve the beef problem that we have right now, which is grocery stores have to carry it. People are having high demand. They want to stock their freezers. There's only so much capacity. These producers, these packing houses have to worry about our workers getting sick and the product. So I decided to stop in and listen to this RCAF thing and thought, hey, what a great thing. They're going to be talking about important issues. And they weren't. They were talking. I mean, they're important issues. I don't want to say that. But the way in which they're going about solving today's problem seems like way disconnected from what I think is important. Where are you at on that?
I think that there are some organizations that are using Corona for their own political agendas. And I'm really sad about that, because I don't think that country of origin labeling, for instance, has anything to do with our markets right now, because our consumers are not demanding it. And so you can slice it and dice it any way that you want, but that's just not the case. People just want to have beef in their mouths right now. And so I hate that we're even like trying to go down that road, because that's not what matters right now. I think that a couple of thoughts. I love that this is forcing people to be more entrepreneurial. The amount of people in my world that are now trying to figure out how to sell direct is astounding. And I'm so excited, because that's what people want, right? They want that personal connection. They want to make a good economic return, because I mean, that's life. We want to have that kind of opportunity. So that's cool. But I also recognize that you can't avoid the political side, right? The policy is required to shift the masses, as much as I hate it. And so you have to have both. I also think that nothing's going to change right now. No matter how many letters we're going to write to Washington, D.C. officials, or how many Facebook Lives we do, like, I don't think that it's that big of an issue until people come together, because we've got this voice saying this, another voice saying that, this voice saying another thing, and it looks so disjointed, right? So I think, Vance, that all big breakthroughs require break widths, and this stuff is breaking. And I might not be that mad about it, because there's going to be something that's going to come out on the other sides that's really beautiful, honestly. So I don't know. That wasn't a really great, like, great answer, but
I mean, it's just an interesting. I think that everyone is using. Well, no, I think that this kind of goes back to our original comment about there are either the traditionalists or the futurists, and the traditionalists are oftentimes the people that are saying the sickness is so bad that we just got to hunker down, and once we get that solved, then we'll move into the new world, but not until that's solved. And then you've got the futurists that are over here saying, hey, everything's different. The rules are up in the air. Let's go run around and do new things. But you have to have that backed on. Our system was the most efficient system ever created in the history of time. And yes, it has some challenges, like I can't just go fill up a freezer full of beef right now without taking away beef from all of my other neighbors or out competing them for it. So I want some alternative system. But the system we had delivered beef to us consistently for 50 years, safely, 60
right.
years, whatever it was. And so it's an interesting time to be saying, I want change, when the system that we had brought us a lot of really amazing things.
Right. We've got the safest, most nutritious, wholesome, I mean, on-demand system in the freaking world. Like, we are so, like, we don't know how good we've got it. Right. But when we start hearing stories about farmers and ranchers who aren't making any money, in fact, they're in the red, like, all the time, like, that's weird. When then you see the profits on the other side, you know, what happens when the beef's in the box, right? That just fundamentally is doesn't make sense. We got to take care of our people. And so the humanness that we bring to it, the logic, that matters. And so the supply chain is long for our food. We got to figure a way to make it stronger, not longer.
One of the things that so the other day I posted on Twitter about how I'm seeing people talk about price gouging and how terrible price gouging is, because you're watching prices go up and people have demands, and so they don't want price gouging. But the flip side of that is prices going up forces it so you can't just say, well, I have money right now, I'm going to buy up as much of these goods as I can. Instead, if the price goes up, it means I have to really want that thing in order to spend money on it. And so I think there's a huge percentage of the US population that doesn't understand, if you demand that prices stay the same and yet supply doesn't go up and demand goes up, then you have shortages. And so I don't know how we handle this, but if you have this discontinuity like you're talking about, there's a ton of demand, there's supply lacking, or I mean, we've kept our grocery stores pretty full, but
Right.
but not as full as I would want right now. So we've got to let prices float, I think. And I'm worried that there are people that don't understand economics enough to not want prices to float.
Right. Well, and that just comes back to, like, again, we don't know how good we have it. We've been allowed not to know about the economics, even from a producer standpoint, right? I've just been able to decide, yeah, this is what I'm going to do, and I can just buy some of this, and then I'll just put it to market, and it's worked. We've allowed a lot of mediocrity, if you ask me, and that has now come around and going to bite us in the butt. And so it's forcing people to start to figure out all the dollars and cents.